It's the final inning. Your team is one run up, snacks on the table, and your kid's school calls. Recital in 10 minutes. You freeze. You promised you'd be there. Hi, I'm Danny. Welcome to Danny's Den. Let's chat about how a little planning on paper can keep that choice from wrecking your weekend or your relationship.
In the next 10 minutes, I'll give you straight talk on prenups and postnups, what they can cover, what they can't, and how to write clauses that actually help with kids, work travel, and yes, playoff weekends and playlists.
First, the basics in plain English. A prenup is something you sign before marriage. A postnup is the same idea signed after the fact. Both can govern finances and routines. But very important, neither can legally fix custodial or child support decisions in a way that would be against a child's best interest. Courts will step in on anything that affects the child's welfare.
That doesn't mean you're stuck. You can build child-safe, workable processes into these agreements, the sort of rules that reduce fights and set expectations. Think notice windows, tiebreakers, and how to handle travel or work conflicts.
Here's a concrete example, step by step. For organized playoff or championship events requiring travel over 50 miles or an overnight stay, the hosting parent will give at least 14 days written notice. If both parents have non-optional events on the same date, parents will alternate attendance in odd and even years and coordinate transportation so the child may attend both events when feasible.
Sounds formal, right? Break it down. Notice, timeline, and a fair tiebreaker. That's process, not permanence. It tells everyone how to talk and when to decide, which is what keeps small fights from getting big.
You might be thinking, that feels complicated. Totally fair. Make it simpler at home. Shared family calendar, a 48-hour blockout for major school events, and a named backup caregiver for last-minute conflicts. Put the process in writing so it's not emotional in the moment. For work travel, here's a short clause you can adapt. If a parent's work requires travel that conflicts with a scheduled school event, that parent will notify the other parent within 7 days and propose a makeup plan for attendance or a reasonable substitute caregiver. That frames the expectation and the follow-up without trying to bargain away custody. Now the small stuff that actually eats at relationships, household culture, music, screen time, game day rituals. You can include a parenting addendum or letter of intent. On school nights, a 30-minute quiet time and no screens starting 30 minutes before bed. On primary game days, a 2-hour window reserved for team programming with rotating meal and supervision duties. It sounds silly out loud, but spelled out expectations save so much resentment.
Quick listener question I hear all the time. Who pays when both parents travel? Short answer, set the expectation. Example, travel costs for the child will be shared based on income proportion or split 50-50, and non-refundable costs will be allocated as agreed at booking. Put how you'll handle money in writing so the fight doesn't happen later.
We also have to name the red flags. Courts can refuse to enforce agreements signed under pressure, without full financial disclosure, or that are unconscionably unfair at review time. Independent counsel, reasonable review time, and honest disclosure are your best protections. Avoid emotional or punitive phrasing. That's a signal a judge won't like. Okay, practical checklist. Short lines so you can use this at your attorney meeting. Bring assets and debts. Bring existing custody or parenting orders. Bring a 1-page summary of the routines you want captured. Bring dates for upcoming travel or seasons. Want a trick? Fold that 1 page into your lawyer meeting and say, read this first.
A few simple scripts for starting the talk at home. I love our life together, and I want us to avoid fights over predictable things. Can we make a short, fair plan for weekend schedules and kid events? Or, let's draft a 1-page plan and run it by a lawyer so it's fair for both of us. Framing it as care, not control, helps the conversation land.
3 quick do's and don'ts. Do prioritize process, timelines, and notice rules. Do require disclosure and reasonable time to review. Don't try to contract away custody or set punitive penalties that hurt the child. Don't sign in a hurry or under pressure.
One last realistic point. Keep these documents alive. Jobs change, teams change, kids grow. A short amendment, properly signed, beats a stale plan everyone resents.
Update as you go.
To recap, think of prenups and postnups as tools for predictable parenting and fair weekend rules, not as a way to lock down custody. Focus on clear process, reasonable timelines, and fairness, and always check local enforceability with a licensed family law attorney.
If this episode gave you a useful next step, subscribe to Danni's Den for more on law, love, sports, and music. If you want tailored legal help, message the show to request a free 30-minute consult and bring the one-page checklist we talked about. Let's figure out what makes sense for your family. Let's chat. Thanks for listening to Danni's Den. Drop a comment with episode ideas, playlists, parenting questions, or game day dilemmas. And don't forget to subscribe. See you next week.